Hey! So, I got a few of my friends together, Luke, Bill, and Raquel, to come up with a fun way of collaborating with each other. Together, we made this deck of cards. In it is 80 random monster parts, of which we each designed 20. There's arms and legs and heads, and strange knobbly bits and extra gubbins. Some are very abstract. Admittedly, most of those are mine, but together our different ideas and art styles made a really cool and odd collection. We went in a circle drawing cards from the deck.
But, okay, everyone think of a number. This is okay, everyone think of a number in your head. 2, 1.
I decided to draw 5.
Now you totally look like a goblin.
Oh, that one's so good.
Ooh,
Oh,
like
those
that's
chicken
a good
legs.
one. That's a good one.
Buzzsaw.
Yeah. Ooh, I like this one too.
Oh, yes.
Scott. Oh, hell yeah.
Nice.
And then we had to build a monster based on those cards we drew. This is my set. Now, the beauty of these cards is how you interpret them is really up to you. I had a few ideas, but obviously, being me, I left this to last minute with Halloween just around the corner, and I had to make something I could smash out in a few hours. And I figured I would just work things out on the fly. I used cheap polymer clay to make something, well, vaguely human and very fat. I want this to be lumpy and weird in all the strangest places. After all, I'm going for grotesque, not just large. I made a sculpting tool using my leftover epoxy during the last episode. I didn't mention it at the time because it seemed a bit rubbish, honestly. But it turned out I just needed a much softer sculpting material to make the most out of it. In fact, I use homemade sculpting tools a lot in this project. Despite having an abundance of actual tools now, I really like the chaos and imperfections from the weird ones I make myself. They make things extra nurgly, and I enjoy using them. I combined the skull and dragon head cards to make a dragon head skull. This is where the narrative started coming to me. There's gonna be a big fat Nurgle boy that's dressed up to be a dragon. Maybe he's convinced he's a dragon. Maybe it's a tactic to intimidate the enemy. Maybe some Nurglings did it, and he's too fat to do anything about it. Maybe because of the whole circus thing, maybe he's a dragon in a play. I don't know. So many ideas, but the idea in general seemed really fun. I have toy dragons to use, but I was digging through my bits box and I totally forgot that the GW Giant Kit comes with a dragon head skull on a stick. For his actual head, I don't have any heads that would be big enough to look proportional. So I used 2 giant heads side by side. The hands were left over from the alien kit from my house build. My girlfriend said, "What's wrong with his hands?" So I think that's a really good sign. The dragon head on a stick is meant to look skewered into his back using a skin flap. Really gross, but I don't know how else we're meant to attach it. I used dragon feet because of this card, but I like the idea that his actual human feet are sort of lost under his fatness, and Nurglings have sort of come along and just like lifted up his stomach and then placed dragon feet there. All my wings in my bits box were a little bit too good to be funny. So I hacked up some toy wings and I put them on skewers. It was looking a little bit too neat to be a gross demon, so I added some things like horns and tongues and dragon skin to bulk out the important details a bit. This card inspired me to add an axe sticking out of its back, as well as some arrows. I think this helps show how tough he is. Or maybe his existence is just so painful already that he hardly notices. After a black prime, I re-evaluated the head situation. I added horns, which helped make everything look bigger, but really the solution was making the heads conjoined, which filled in the negative space and made everything look a lot more proportional. Milliput and green stuff together make a sticky clay, and I use that to my advantage to add little dirt mounds all over the place by sticking a wad of it on the surface and then trying to pull it off. This model I'm thinking is going to be a counts as Chaos Dragon for my mortal Nurgle army. or maybe a giant chaos spawn. I love both ideas, but this guy being able to actually fly is a bit hard to explain on the tabletop. But I really like the idea that hordes of unfortunate Nurglings come along and pick him up and then take him to where he needs to go while he sort of playfully flaps his bootleg wings. I don't know, so many ideas. This model is incredibly stupid. I don't know if I love it or hate it, but it's fun and it's going to be fun on the tabletop, and that's what it's all about at the end of the day, right? This deck of cards that I've made with my friends has been really great creatively. If you want to give this a go, miscast.co is where you'll find the deck of cards. They're free. Because we just want you to enjoy what we've done. I hope you do get to use them, and if you do use them, please take photos and then tag us on Instagram or something like that. And I mean, this whole project was honestly just an excuse for me to put all my favorite creators into one room, and hopefully magic would come from it, and I think it sure did. And as well as magic, also a whole lot of friendship. Sounds so cheesy and lame, but I'm really glad I did, because not only do I have a weird dragon now, but also below all its layers of pus and boils and whatever else is a bunch of great memories with my friends too. And I guess maybe that's what it's all about anyway, this hobby. Just an excuse to spend time doing nothing important with the people you love. But anyway, I really hope you check out my friends. Each of their voices in the hobby is so unique and inspiring. Luke reminds me of why I love this hobby every video he makes. Bill makes me feel like a total badass when I watch his videos because he chops shit up and uses tools bigger than me and sets things on fire. And Raquel throws out all convention and pre-existing ideas of what the hobby is and totally makes it her own. They're cool people, cooler than me, so please go watch them. Okay, happy Halloween, happy sappy Halloween. Okay, alright, bye.